Oh, yes. Now, how could we forget about some purslane? This plant is a secret weapon in this game of floral warfare. It's a vigorous grower and a prolific bloomer. So, yes and yes. Although purslane can be found around the world, most research suggests that it is native to the region that encompasses North Africa, the Middle East, and the Indian subcontinent. We'll just give them all credit for this beautiful plant. So thank you all very much for sharing your flowers with us here in the West. The expert name is this name. Purslane is a low-growing succulent, and it has thick, fleshy stems that can spread out in all sorts of orientations. They can stretch along the ground, forming a floral carpet. They can drape over pots and containers and provide a beautiful cascade of flowers. And they can create globes of flowers for your neighbors to envy. Now that one's my favorite. The leaves are paddle-shaped and very smooth to the touch. They arrange alternately along the stems. They're usually a dark green to a reddish green color. Purslane produces small flowers that come in a variety of colors and even different shapes. Since it's a multi-regional plant, that could explain its diversity in appearance in addition to hybridization by the plant experts. Purslane usually blooms from midsummer to early fall, but for us Floridians, our purslane can bloom year-round thanks to our strange weather. You do know that we can, and often do, go to the beach during the winter season, right? I mean, yeah, shorts, flip-flops, and our fur babies, and probably a couple of pub subs. That can happen on Christmas Day. Trust me, our plants can really do well in this climate for most of the year. But I'm sure you all have your own thing too. It's difficult for us to grow clematis and fuchsia down here, and we're really missing out on those as sustainable plants. We're working on it though. For you snowbirds, this is a very easy plant to transport in pots or containers. Most purslane can actually tolerate cooler temperatures. Ours continued to bloom until we hit 40-degree weather, and then it just stayed green for a few weeks. Purslane has a high water content, so freezing temperatures are no bueno. You'll definitely need to bring them indoors during that time. Put them in a warm, sunny window, and you'll see flowers indoors during the winter. Purslane can grow in a wide range of climates, but they perform best in warm and hot temperatures, which is the difficult way to just say Florida. Purslane is drought tolerant and can withstand hot and arid conditions. So, if you have a spot in the yard that seems to always stay too dry, try adding purslane to that area. The same goes for anyone using a pot or container that's exposed to a lot of sunlight. Try growing purslane instead. You won't be disappointed. Purslane truly thrives in full sun. So this is another great plant that can tolerate our Florida heat and our Florida sun. And yes, there's a difference between your full sun and Florida full sun. Ours is slightly closer than yours, and that makes a world of difference. Give your purslane part shade and watch some really cool things happen as it reaches for the sunshine. As for soil conditions, exactly. We want to use well-draining soil. I don't know what it is about you, but you're very special, you know that? This is amazing. In some areas, purslane is considered a weed due to its invasive behaviors. This plant can grow nearly anywhere, and it's not uncommon to find some tourists where they don't belong. It's just like here in Orlando. We often wonder why some tourists are on certain roads, but we assume the tourist is wondering the same thing. Well, just get there safely. We want this plant to invade our trouble spots. Please cover that big sandy area. Please. Speaking of which, it actually likes sandy soils. It is a succulent, so you'll want to treat it like one. Sandy soil and not much watering, which makes purslane a super easy plant to maintain. Since it's a low-growing plant, or weed, which I can't believe they call it that. Anyway, it makes a wonderful ground covering for those areas prone to drought, which can help better condition the soil over time, and it provides protection for the roots of other plants growing nearby. They'll look great on borders and nestle below taller plants or shrubs. Now, it really is a vigorous grower though. Unfortunately, one of our pots fell over during a storm and exposed this. Yep, it was root bound. Another bittersweet moment brought to you by Florida weather. Although we lost the pot, we then found out our purslane was ready for a bigger pot, which means a bigger plant, which also means more flowers. And you know what that means. Purslane also has some nutritional value, as the plant, other than its roots, to my knowledge, is edible. It tastes like a tart apple, but if you put grass in your mouth too. So no thanks, I'll just stick with the flowers. Buen provecho. Research has shown that purslane may possess some medicinal properties, but you'll want to consult with some experts on that stuff first. Just let it grow and you'll enjoy flowers day after day. Purslane can self-seed prolifically, so it can help to cover those not so pretty areas quite easily. Also, this means that it may spread more than you would like, so make sure you don't mind where it goes. It's a real nomad. On the other hand, purslane is very easy to transplant and propagate. If they begin spreading too much, you can easily pull the base of the plant from that location and put it somewhere else. They recover very fast and experience very little to no transplant shock. If pieces break off or you've broken a piece, you naughty little gardener, you can simply stick the broken pieces into the soil and give it a few weeks to root. It'll create a totally new plant. Keep this in mind when you want to fill in bare areas in the garden or grow some in pots. You can even mix and match your purslane and they'll grow well together. Fertilize your purslane every 3 to 4 months with a balanced fertilizer. Purslane requires very minimal care once established. You'll want to water your full sun purslane once a week during our Florida summer, but other than that, you can water your purslane once every 2 to 3 weeks. They'll tolerate being hit with the sprinklers a few times a week, but it can't be a deep watering. They don't like that at all. If it's not in full sun or Florida sun, you can likely water it once a month. It's a succulent. Remember berries? So it's designed to retain water. If you feel like you've gone too long without watering it, water it lightly and then start your water cycle from there. The only two ways I'm sure you can hurt your purslane is by giving it too much fertilizer and by overwatering it. If you overwater your purslane, this show is going to be horrific. Seriously, you'll invite aphids and mealybugs like you wouldn't believe. The plant will become mushy and the bugs will become plentiful. Nope, neem oil won't help. The aphids will go away, but the mealybugs enjoy you putting a little bit of oil on their salad. You'll have to salvage pieces of your purslane and hope for the best. The bugs will devour your plant within days. Changing the soggy soil and placing the plant in full sun may help, but you'll need to find a place indoors or in a lot of sun to keep the bugs from reinfesting the plant. Be very conservative about watering your purslane. If you have other succulents, put them on the same watering cycle as those plants. So just remember, put it in full sun to part shade. They can grow well in full shade actually, but you'll have to pay close attention to how much moisture it's retaining in the shaded areas. Don't water it too often, once a month if you're feeling timid or unsure, and it'll be fine. Make sure the soil is well draining. I know, you already knew that. I know, I'm just picking on you. And say thank you every morning when you walk out and see a ton of flowers waiting for you. Follow these simple rules and your purslane will perform a jaw-dropping show every single day, and there's nothing better than a daily dose of jealous neighbors. Well, I hope you found this information helpful, and I hope you find $20 on the ground on your way to work. Until next time, thanks for stopping by and enjoy the rest of your day.